We made it back to the Exumas.
I'm Cindy, and this is Shell. We sold everything and set off on an adventure, living and cruising on a boat named C-Shel. Click, subscribe, and sit back as we show you that it's possible for all of us to live an extraordinary life. In the last episode, we staged a crossing to the Bahamas from Miami. After a few little mishaps and a couple of nights in Bimini, we crossed the Bahama bank toward Shroud Cay. With the calm weather, we dropped our anchor in the middle of nowhere with no land in sight for a stunning night in the middle of the bank. On this morning, we wake up from our peaceful night and are now heading to West Bay, located at the western end of New Providence, the island of the capital of the Bahamas, Nassau.
We're headed to West Bay on the west side of Nassau, New Providence.
Almost there.
Yeah, we're almost there. Last long haul, really. We're pretty much there.
Back to the Exumas.
We want to give a huge thanks to our patrons who help keep these videos coming. And if you want to be part of the crew, join over on patreon.com/searchingforC-Shels.
This anchorage gives protection from any easterly wind. It is a great stopover on the way to the Exumas if you don't need to go into Nassau Harbor. We have a few days of wind, so we take this time to explore the area, including the underwater statues at the southwest end of New Providence.
We're in Nassau today at the statues. What are they called, Sheldon?
It's called Atlas.
Atlas. At the northwest tip of the island, at a place called Leaf Cay, is what seems to be an abandoned adventure park. This is the playground created by the infamous Canadian fashion mogul Peter Nygaard. He is currently detained in Canada, awaiting trial for many sexual assault offenses. This 150,000 square foot Mayan-styled estate has fallen into disrepair after it was seized by the Bahamian authorities in 2018. When the wind died down, we picked up anchor and headed south of Nassau, heading east towards the Exumas. At this point, we took a different route than Time Out, with the promise we would meet back up in the Exumas in a few days. We took a pit stop in Palm Cay Marina for water and fuel, noticed the ton of charter activity, then continued on crossing the Yellow Bank onto the Exuma Bank. We made it back to the Exumas. First stop, up at Leaf Islands, just north of Highbourne. Busy, busy.
Got a dream to chase. I know that if we try, it could be the day that we watch it fly. The sunlight reminds you there's no limit inside you. A new day begins right now. Lead the way. A new day begins right now. It's what you made. A new day begins.
This was a Sunday, and all of the charter activity we noticed at Palm Key was now at Allen's and Leaf Cay. More boats anchored here than we have ever seen. It must be one of the first stops for most charter boats out of Nassau at the beginning of the week. Despite the crowd, we really enjoyed our time here. And as pretty as it wasn't one of the best anchorages of the 2023 season. For that, we had to head a little south. After a stop at Norman's Cay to wait out a little wind, we headed into the Exuma Land and Sea Park, Shroud Cay to be exact. One of our goals this season was to make sure we took anchorages we have never been to before. You can have completely different experiences, even anchored a short distance from where you've been before. So instead of taking the North Shroud anchorage, where everyone takes the creek to the ocean side to the washing machine, this season we snuck into the South anchorage. C-Shel's shallow draft pays off here, and we can tuck up where most boats won't think about going. We met up again with timeout, and we are the only two boats here.
The white-tailed tropic birds greeted us as we swung on our anchor. We are lucky. These tropic birds spend most of their lives out at sea and only come ashore to mate and nest. This day, they were courting and flying gracefully in unison, as if dancing in the air.
The South Shroud anchorage has many wonderful things to experience. You can almost get the feel of the Exumas here in this one spot. It is certainly a great intro into the wonderful treasures the Exumas has to offer.
First off, like North Shroud, there are mangrove-lined creeks that run from the Exuma Bank to the Exuma Sound. When going to the Sound side, make sure you leave before high tide. This will give you plenty of water to make it to the extraordinary beach that you will likely have to yourself. And then leave up to a few hours after that. This will give you plenty of water to return to the boat. At low water, this creek is almost impassable. High tide in this area is about 20 minutes after high tide at the Nassau Tide Station.
Here we go, we're ascending. I feel so alive. I feel so alive. I feel the blood rush through my veins. I can take on the world when you're next
wonderful day, first day here in the Exuma Land and Sea Park. We're in Shroud Cay today and it's been fantastic. There's our boat right there, just like we're walking home.
One of the most spectacular things about the Exumas is the sandbars that reveal themselves at low tide. You can find these all over the place, but not in all the glory that is found between Shroud and Hawksbill Cay, and we are anchored right next to it. This is one of the most spectacular places in all of the Bahamas, and it is one of our favorite places and anchorages of this 2023 season.